Hey everybody, it's Tom Foster on the World of Marketing, and today I've got a special guest, my friend Nicole Barnett. So great to see you, Nicole. Thank you so much for being on the World of Marketing.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to talk about my favorite thing, marketing, business. I love it.
Yes, and Nicole, we know each other for years and years and years. You've been a great client of Foster with Marketing with Case Barnett, which
Yes.
is a law firm your husband runs. You've been running with, well, you've probably been running the law
I
firm.
run it.
You run a law firm.
I
Case
run
is
it.
the attorney,
Yes.
and out in Orange County, and you guys do personal injury and all, everything related to personal injury, and you do a great job at it, and you've been doing it for years and years, right?
Yes. And you were one of our first um, meetups, I guess I'll say, when we started our firm. And I think it's so exciting to look back at the journey and how people come into your journey. And it is crazy. We've been working together now, I think, for 8 years, 7 years.
No, and I thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for, sticking with us and being a partner for so long. And, we're on different coasts, and,
Well, we
it's
flew out
great.
to DC when we
Yeah, I know.
started working with you, and then we flew out to DC, and I remember it because my son was 2 and
They were
my
just
daughter was
little,
a
yeah.
baby, and we
Right.
packed him up and went to the conference. And yeah, we were serious about it, which is so important, right? I think so many people want to take the shortcuts, and they're like, how did you guys build your company? And it's like work and sacrifice and taking things seriously.
Well, you've done it. I mean, you've done the work. And that's the thing, is that you've taken the tools, you've used DSS, and and we're going to talk about that, because you've taken the tools and you've really, and you've taken marketing to a new level. And as a result, you started this new company,
Yes.
which is what we're here to talk about today, which is really exciting. And I'm so proud of you and
Thank
your
you.
accomplishments. And that is this Law Profit,
Yes.
which is a social media based company, which you are doing now. You, because of what you've learned through doing social media for your own firm, right?
Yes.
Now you are offering social media to other law firms.
Yeah, and I think that it started just like you said, based on what I learned, but I found that there was a huge gap in our industry. All of the mastermind groups, all of the companies that help lawyers with marketing, it's all talking, right? It's
Yeah.
coaching. And I know I'm not a lawyer, but I'm running our law firm. I built our law firm. My husband does trials. Like that's all he does, and I do all the other stuff. So I had that same problem of it's great, it's good to learn about it, but how do you actually take it
Execute.
and execute it, right? And so I was a fine art major in college. I majored in fine art with an emphasis in visual communication, graphic design, photography. So this is actually my background. I just was so busy, I didn't want to do it. So I kept trying to find companies to do it for me, and it was horrible. Because if you aren't in the legal space, if you have not built a law firm, if you haven't sat through trials, if you haven't sat through client meetings, if you haven't sat through depots, you can't create content. So
Right.
I think attorneys have this gap where they're hiring people and it just isn't working. So we started having people come to us and ask me, will you do my marketing? And it's not something I want to do. I don't want to do marketing for people one-on-one. But I thought if I turn it into a membership and I essentially create a system where I train someone for them, that's the missing piece, right? I train their person. I don't train them. I train their person who doesn't know what they're doing, maybe in marketing or maybe just in the legal space. And I deliver content. So yes, it's templates, it's stories templates, it's feed templates, it's reels prompts, it's practice area articles, it's all these things. But the most valuable part to me is that training, video training for their assistant. Because a lot of
For the
attorneys,
legal industry, which is
yes,
very, very different than
yes,
everywhere else.
yes. And a lot of attorneys have, I've talked to so many people. Someone who does their intake has also been asked to do the social media, or their secretary has also been asked to do their
Right.
social media, which is fine. I actually think that's great if they have
Yeah.
time, because the system I created, they only need I think an hour a week, maybe in the beginning as they're learning, it's 2 hours a week. But if they have the time to go in, use my system and my product, someone very part-time can do that for the lawyer. And I think lawyers either aren't doing it or they're inconsistent. I talked to a criminal defense attorney and she's doing her own social media marketing. And she's, she probably bills $600 an hour. And I'm like, how many hours a week are you spending trying to do your own content? And she's like, 4, 5, 6. Think about how much money she's losing by not investing in someone
not doing
else.
it the correct way.
The correct way too.
Yeah,
Right.
with your process. So you're like really, scratching two itches because one, you're helping somebody that might be a good marketer, but doesn't understand the lawyer language. You're helping them. And then you're also helping somebody that understands the lawyer language know the processes.
Exactly. And I think that's the gap, right? And I think the only reason I can do that is because of my background and then my work experience. I mean, I was an artist. I never thought I'd be running a law firm, but I love it. It is a very interesting skill set that I have, that it has allowed me to kind of create this thing that I think solves a problem. And it's an important problem because social media is necessary. I have lots of opinions on how it should be used for lawyers and for business owners. I could go on a big rant about it. We'll probably get there. I think it's a non-negotiable. And so they have to be doing it, but I don't think they should be spending tons of money, tons of time. There's so many other things they need to be doing. And so it's like, get it done smart, effective, and then be done with it. Right? Just simple.
So, what are some good ways of doing social media? What are some of your best campaigns?
Well, I think it's about brand building. So the legal space is funny because I think it's fairly recent that lawyers have really started to get into marketing, but they all emulate each other, even if it's bad. And so they don't know what to do. They all look at each other. They recreate things. They feel a pressure. I've had attorneys tell me I have this crazy pressure that I have to be doing TikToks or these things. And I'm like, no, you don't, right? Like there are these legal influencers who have 6 million followers and they say, I get all my cases through social media and it's free. And so you have these attorneys going, oh my God, I have to do this. Well, first of all, your time is not free. Second of all, it's not free. These guys say that. And then when you listen to them speak further, it's, well, I have a $6 million marketing budget and 90% of that goes to social media. And they have a team and they have ads and all these things. Well, millions of dollars is not free. Right. So you also then, I'm an investigator, right? So I then go to these guys' websites and one of them, he's like huge on TikTok. I'm like, I want to see your bank account. I want to see the cases you're actually getting. Well, you go to his website, he's almost like the new Larry H. Parker, like a lead gen company, right? So he's getting a bunch of people on TikTok. He's not an attorney. He's not doing legal work, which is fine. He's a marketer. And then he refers those cases to other lawyers and gets a referral fee. Smart, right? That's his business model. Another one, he is a pre-litigation machine. So we do personal injury. We only take catastrophic accidents. We only take cases that need to be heavily litigated. He does the opposite. So if you're getting, I think when you're on social media doing the TikTok, the dancing, all these things, you might get a lot of people lower level cases.
Right.
Which is fine. But for us, that is my nightmare. Like, I don't want it. I would rather have
waste of time.
It's a waste of time. And it's so much effort and time. Like, it really is. So when attorneys that I know are trial lawyers, they litigate, they have experience, and they ask me, should I be doing these things? I say, hell no. You need to be building your brand, showing up in front of the people who already know you, your network. Those are the people that refer you cases. Because for us, a catastrophic injury, if someone is paralyzed, if someone loses a limb, we take serious injuries. That type of case, our clients do not want to see us dancing on TikTok. Our clients are probably going to be referred to us because that's a serious situation and you don't just hop on Google and hire some random person, right? Maybe you do, but typically you don't.
This is a really important point. And I'm glad you're bringing it up because I've been talking about this for years. And this is no different than chasing vanity keywords on Google.
Yeah.
And, the same thing that you're talking about on TikTok for this vanity type generic search to find, the easiest results. That is not where like your perfect client is. And,
Correct.
and it's no, you're talking about catastrophic injuries and people that have serious problems. They're not going to be doing these generic searches. It's no different than people that are looking for a high-end estate plan or a, serious criminal defense attorney, to help them out of a bind. And they've got, they're on their third DUI or whatever, the circumstances are bigger than, a silly page one result or a silly TikTok video. And that's what most attorneys, they get seduced by this easiness, and that's just not where they are. And
it's also, for me, it pisses me off because it's perpetuating a stereotype of lawyers that we try to abolish. I mean, we are to me, also the way our law firm uses social media is to educate the community on why our work is important, because it is.
It's serious work.
And it's so important. And to have these people taking that stereotype of the ambulance chasing attorney who takes anything that walks in the door, unnecessary lawsuits, we will not take those cases. We have a book. We say, here's a book. It'll tell you how to settle this on your own. We don't take lawsuits that aren't necessary. And these guys that are doing this, it just harms the entire industry. And then, so they're doing that. And then on top of it, they're speaking on podcasts and webinars telling other lawyers, this is how you should market. And it makes me so mad. It makes me so mad.
Me too.
It's not okay. And it's like, I also am like, show me your bank account, show me the direct business that you're getting, show me the types of cases, because it's just not how it works, right? So I think going back to how lawyers should use social media, and really any business owner in a service-based industry, is talking about those important things. We just did a series of videos, just my husband talking about what he wishes he could tell jurors, but can't, because he's not allowed to tell the jury when they're in that courtroom any of the things that really matter. And most people who get on jury duty, they don't know the system and they don't know how it works with paid experts and witnesses and all these things. So that stuff that's so important for people to hear, that's what you talk about, not like this nonsense of just trying to get, and you know what, lawyers, our content isn't super exciting for the general public. You're not going to get thousands of likes and thousands.
They're educated by TV shows, and they think things happen like that, like in the box.
And so I think a lot of lawyers create content to entertain, which is great. I think some of them really enjoy it and they're funny, and I like watching their stuff. But if you're not that attorney, like my husband, no way. Like, he's just old school. His grandfather was an attorney. His father was an attorney. Like, he was raised a different way, viewing like the formality of the legal industry. It's just also our clients, our demographic.
He's very professional and very nice man, though, your husband.
He is. But I think, okay, so that's another point. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. But I always tell lawyers, you have to do the work to figure out your brand, right? So these guys that are doing this TikTok, that's great for them. That's their brand. We did the work. That avatar client exercise that everyone always talks about is so important, because if you're doing the work to say, this is who I want my client to be, you can then very easily ask, do they want to see me doing this on social media? And if they do, create that content. If they don't, please do not create that content. It can hurt your brand.
Right. I think it's important to show, like, Case, his personality, he's very compassionate. He's very thoughtful, and you want to be able to show that, like, I will be your lawyer to represent you. And that's what you want to be able to show. You want to be able to tell stories of other clients that you've helped. And that's what you want to be able to show, instead of, him being goofy and all that. That's not what you want to represent, and that's not how you want to represent yourself out there.
Right.
And you know, that's what. Here's another thing. Let me give you another take though. Like these cats that are spending like millions of dollars, like what you were talking about, 9 million bucks. Let them do it. I mean,
Right.
like let them do it because they're all distracted over there, and they're not going to get the good cases.
No
I
way.
mean, they're gonna the idiots of the world will hire them. The smart people, the kind of clients that you want, will find you for the right reasons because you're doing the right kind of marketing, your brand
Right.
marketing that's based on results, success of the right kind of client. And that's what you want to repeat over and over and over again. And you're right. It's about the legal world is about referrals. It always has been, it always will be. People ask, do you have a good lawyer? And other people, even if they're not asked, if they have a friend or a family member that was hurt or is in a bind, they always will come to them and say, I got a guy.
Yeah. And I think that's an important point too, because you're talking about these guys doing it and let them do it. They won't get the big cases. If they did get a big case,
They don't know what to do with it.
I was gonna say this is kind of mean, but they would have to refer it to someone like us.
Right.
They don't. I mean, one of them admitted he's done one trial and he lost one trial. So I also think that attorneys need to remember, like, what is your marketing thing? Like, who are you? Well, if you're my husband, he has 18 years of trial experience. He doesn't need gimmicks. He doesn't. So these guys that are, if you know what you're doing, like these real trial lawyers that ask me, should I be doing this? It's like, you don't need to. You are a good lawyer.
Yeah, you don't need to become a good marketer. Like becoming a marketer is not part of being a good lawyer.
No.
Like that's not on the checklist. And that's what, there's a lot of lawyers, and we work with them, that happen to be good marketers, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's part of their DNA. Great. Good.
Yeah.
Good for you. But we have way more that it ain't part of their DNA.
Yeah, well, it's like a very different skill set.
Like your husband. Your husband's a great
I'm married to my avatar client.
Right.
So
You're lucky. He's lucky that you are the marketer, right?
Yes.
And so, and you guys are a great partnership, right? If he didn't have you, he would have to hire a marketer to do the marketing for his firm so he could focus and be a lawyer.
Which is really hard to find that person,
right.
like we already talked about. And it's funny because that's actually why I started Law Profit, because every time we would go to a legal event, everyone would ask us, like, how are you getting all these good cases? And then we would start talking to them about our, how our business is built. And I can't tell you how many times people are like, I need a Nicole Barnett. I don't have that. And it's like, well, I will make myself available to all of you in this membership, because it's true. You have to have that person. And you know what, a lot of all of the best lawyers that I know, they have that person, right? Like, you need your technician. So that's my trial lawyer husband. You need your marketer. Sometimes it's a sibling, sometimes it's a spouse. It's usually someone that hears about the business a lot or is working in the business. And then you need your manager, right? Your operator person who's kind of overseeing it. And if you don't have those three roles in your business, it's not going to go well. We didn't have that management component for a long time. I was building all the systems, procedures, doing our marketing. I mean, I'm like in the firm, and Case was trial, and neither one of us enjoy managing people. I'm like, do your job. Why do I have to tell you what to do?
Yeah, me too.
And so, I just I don't understand this. I don't babysit people. So we had that was our biggest weakness for years. And then we finally hired a managing attorney to it seems crazy to have to hire a person to essentially watch everything, but you need to do it. And those are the three roles, right? If you're not the trial guy, hire a trial woman. If you're not the operator, hire that person. If you're not the marketer, get that person. You have to have those things, right? I think all these attorneys trying to do it themselves, it's heartbreaking. It's like, this is why attorneys are depressed. It's too much. Like, you drink, you don't sleep, like it's because it's not healthy for one person to be attempting to do all these things, which is why I get so fired up when I hear people telling lawyers they need to be creating so much content on social media, and it's like just adding more pressure to what they're already dealing with. And it's a very high stress job, high stakes, high pressure to be telling them like, oh yeah, and be making videos every day, dancing down your hallways. Like, what? No, it's too much.
Right.
It's crazy.
Well, you have created through Law Profit, which is a brand new company that you started. I think June 6th was the start date, right?
Yes, yes. We were in trial. I launched it from my phone in the courtroom in between like trial breaks.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And you are providing, and I think that you have a couple of different levels, but you are providing your process for doing social media marketing to other law firms. And this is a great, great idea and a great thing. And so how does somebody, how do you want people to get in touch with you to get more information about it, Nicole?
Well, I think my favorite way is if they follow me on Instagram at Law Profit, and it's not profit like the money, it's profit. I want lawyers to become their own prophet of their life. So at Law Profit.
Okay.
And they can send me a DM. Also, lawprofit.com has information on all the different products. But I love having the conversation with people to kind of see what they need. But I created the content. It's not just for personal injury lawyers, it's for lawyers in private practice. So it's very geared, or if you want to eventually go into private practice, start building your brand. In California, you can get referral fees. I always say, I don't know why lawyers aren't trying to like get their network going as soon as they get out of law school, because we've paid a referral fee to a criminal defense attorney for almost $600,000, like just for sending us a case. So I think it's really underutilized, just building your brand, growing your list. It's way overcomplicated. It's not that complicated. It's just not.
Well, people overcomplicate it is what you're saying, is that, and you know, it's really, it's funny that you say that, because I say that over and over again, is that, you know, you don't need to make it more complicated than it already is. Especially for lawyers. Lawyer marketing is way easier than they think it is, because it truly is about the referrals from existing clients and referrals from your list, especially for lawyers. Now, that is not true for other businesses. Other businesses always have to churn out and get, you know, new.
Yeah.
I need somebody to buy new products from me. You know, they're always trying to get new products sold. But for a lawyer, the best way to get new clients is through their existing list and communicating with that list.
Consistently, long term.
Right. Because
like
people never forget their lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about like all the people that Case has helped over the years. And this is through tragedy. I mean, like this, like people experience these events, this only one time in their life.
Yes.
And they have these relationships with their lawyers. Now the lawyer, they are having these relationships and these experiences all the time, but the client is only once. And that's why that's such an important relationship to maintain.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you can continue to get referrals from that relationship over and over again. And that's why it's special. And that's why it's so important to stay in touch. And that's what's so great about social media and email marketing and texting and all of that stuff. And so it's, I mean, it's, you know, the website, obviously that's what Fosterwood Marketing does. And we're so thankful that Nicole and Case has chosen Fosterwood Marketing as their partner for all these years. It's been a great partnership and we appreciate it so much. You know, I
have lots of ideas. I feel like your team sees the emails from me and they're like, oh, Nicole's emailing again. I know. I love it. We collaborate. I just think that I often am like, I think they're used to lawyers not really being involved. So they have
Well,
me.
it's
They're
you're a
awesome with me.
designer, and you're very creative, and we love collaborating. And that's the other thing about it, is that because of the nature of DSS and the nature of the company, we're able to create any kind of customization. We're not suppressed by WordPress or whatever. We're able
Yeah.
to do whatever we need to do, and that's what makes it so much. And you're a marketer, and so that just makes it so much better. So all the social media that you're doing to attract, everybody's going to come to the website. Everybody eventually comes to the website. And what are they doing? Don't think of your website for SEO. Your website is about conversion. It plays a small part for SEO, but it plays a bigger part for conversion and retention. Conversion and retention is where they all come. And everything that Nicole can teach you and train you through Law Profit, through these great programs that she's got, they're all going to come to your website. And so you got to make sure that all these things communicate together and whatnot.
And the social media and website really are, I think they work together. It's like
they got
it
to
used
work
to
together.
and I think it used to be that if someone lands on your website, well, of course, reviews are so important, right? They go to Google or
Yep.
Yelp. And now the next thing, or maybe the first thing, if you're me, you go to social media. It's like the website does its job, and then social media is almost like a little background check of like, is this person real? Are they? I think
check
it's
their
really,
LinkedIn profile. Yep.
yeah. So, and like social media is, to me, it allows you to kind of humanize as a lawyer. Your website, I still think the website you should be humanized on your website, but social media allows you to show off your personality even more.
Right.
And in those saved highlights, you can show the things that you care about deeply, that you're passionate about, the type of work you do, your niche, all these things that are, yes, on your website, but it is like a little background check, because everyone knows the website, especially in the legal world, they're kind of all the same unless people have worked with someone like you. And you have to, there's like another check you need to do. And that's where, even if your social media just exists for someone to land there and be like, okay, I see what it would be like to work with this lawyer, success, right? It's not that difficult. It's not that complicated, but it requires you to be consistent. You can't show up every once in a while. Show up consistently, be in people's lives over a long time. You were talking about, we love getting our clients, past clients, current clients onto social media, because then they're there, right? Unless they unfollow you. And I think for lawyers, it's really important to consistently talk about the most basic things, like what you do. Lawyers think, well, everyone knows I'm a criminal guy. Everyone knows I'm a PI guy. What does that mean? People don't know what that means. What is your niche? What is your expertise? Why are you different than the other 9,000 PI lawyers? The general public doesn't know what premises liability, what types of cases those are. And so you create that content consistently, which no one's excited about, but the lurkers see it, it goes into their brain, and you do it repeatedly over time. And then when someone on their street gets hurt at an apartment complex, they're like, oh, I know an attorney that handles that specific type of case. And so that's what my membership gives attorneys. It's content, put it out consistently. I hit on all here's inspirational content, here's aspirational, here's positioning you as the expert, here's educating in your niche, here's social proof, here's all these things, and it's done for them. They don't have to think about it, but it's over time. Like, there's none of this, like, what do I do right now to, make $15 million? That's not how it works. So it's being patient, consistent, tapping into your existing network.
That's the key.
That's it.
Well, this is a fantastic job. It is. I'm so proud of you, Nicole, and so thankful that you've done this. I mean, because Lord knows lawyers need all the help in the world with marketing, and they need to be.
They're not marketers.
They're not marketers.
Yeah.
That's right. So stop trying to be one. Be a lawyer. Be good. Be better at what you went to school for, and that is the way that you're going to scale and grow and be better. Is being a better lawyer. And hire Nicole and her company, her new company, Law Profit, to help with your social media, Get yourself an FWM website if you don't already have one. If you've got one and you want it to get on fire with some social media, then hire Nicole, lawprofit.com. Nicole, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being such a great client. You say hi to Case for me.
I will.
And I look forward to working with you more. And I'm sure we'll have a catch up, find out what's going on with Law Profit. And I want to hear, about some successes here in the next few months.
Very good.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. Tom Foster and Nicole in the world of marketing. You guys have yourself a wonderful day.
Bye.